poem, but she has her own copy. So. Thank you. I do want to say that I'm so grateful that we have the honorable mentions, because it was very difficult to choose, and just an extraordinary group of poems, poem manuscripts. So tough job, and I just love these broadsides. So congratulations to everyone. So let's hear from Sue.
Well, I too want to thank everyone here at the Book Arts. It's been very exciting, and I've been here a few times over the years because I have made books. This is from my youth. It's leather and feed sack. Actually, my family's well known for hoarding things. So my mother had her grandmother's old feed sacks. And if anyone here might want some, I think I still have some. So, and it's a thrill to be reading with these four fabulous poets. It's very exciting. So thank you. So I will start with the broadside poem. Am I too close? Or? All right. Why I'm not coming to my funeral? You don't want me there. No raisins in the cake. You set up photos of another woman. The night too dark, the day too hot, the daisies in disarray. You stood on my porch looking in, but didn't knock. I opened the storm. Do I know you? You said, no. I said, I have to go in now. You said, yes. The abortionist goes to the grocery store. I wheel my cart around. I don't look at the cabbages and say, isn't there a thing about cabbages and babies? I hide there my neighbors, like everybody. I study the backs of cereal boxes. This is a political poem. I'm the one who winces at the title. I don't want to poke fun. I like to blend in. At my age, why should it matter? I do blend in. Yes? No? Once, always once, there was a maiden. I've worked in women's health care for about 30 years. I'm an apprenticeship trained physician assistant, and part of my work has been basic GYN care, which in Vermont it's legal for me to do abortions. I am retired now. And this next poem is in honor of George Tiller, a colleague of mine. And there's one reference to the UU. It's the Unitarian, I'm not sure they call it a church, the hall, but that's where a memorial for him was held. On this matter of the soul, which is not matter, though according to the ancients it lives in the heart or the liver, to the Irish in the armpit in the shape of a fish, and not to be entirely trusted. Today I sit in a pew in the Pearl Street UU next to 3 old friends, here to remember Dr. George Tiller, our colleague shot last week in his Wichita church. I suppose there's no reason to be afraid. The 4 of us retired now are doing other work. 4 old abortionists in a row. Bing, 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 bing. In old Europe, a soul ran from the mouth of a deceased in the form of a mouse. Celtic women got pregnant by swallowing fly souls. The Egyptians had 7 souls. Ba, a bird, flies in and out of the tomb. Kaibat is a shadow. At the clinic on North Ave, the Catholics on our staff wouldn't go into the lab at night. Shadows on the ceiling. The 3rd canon of the Council of Nantes ruled that women have no souls. As a young man, George Tiller took over his father's medical practice. His patients begged him to help them the way his father had. He'd never known his father did abortions. His killer attended services at the Wichita church 2 or 3 times before the fatal day, shot a living soul to save unborn souls. According to St. Thomas Aquinas, a man's testicles hold the souls of his future children. Today, a young woman reads a eulogy written by a local abortion provider, anonymous. God, it's not safe to give our names. Do I dare write this poem? Did Dr. Tiller wear his bulletproof vest to church? He had a boyish face, glasses, buzz cut, wore a button on his lapel, trust women. He looked a lot like my brother. The she-wolf gave 3 souls to her son, the King of Rome. He was killed 3 times. George Tiller was shot 3 times. In 1993, shot once in each arm. In 2009, shot in the head. As long as its name is said, the Egyptian wren lives on. Today I must write my obituary. How do I word it, old body, old mind? She was born in Ohio. Should I say nearly drowned in Ohio? Should I add the word once? Should I say she matriculated often? She studied Dickinson in the original. She loved her naps. Her life's work, teacher, abortionist. When does human life begin? End. She read up on ensoulment. Should I say she traveled many places, once in search of a cake no longer made by nuns in Palermo? Is it obvious? Overly eager. She was married more than once, but should I say once? Should I say she died in her sleep? She died open-eyed. She died and someone was with her. The soul with its elephant face. The elephant god, red Ganesh, friend for the journey, who clears the path, who carries an axe to fell desires, but holds out a sweet, round with round eyes, oh, like a human face.
You can see in both these poets, and you'll see in the next poet, a kind of political, social aura. So the poems themselves may or may not be politically concerned, but there's a kind of mist around them that I just adore, and I know Sharon does as well. So it's all very important to us as part of the aesthetics and part of who we could tell who they are as poets. Thank you both. It's the first time I saw my own chapbook today, and it's the first time I'm meeting the poet and saying her name aloud. Nehasayu. Degans. Nehasayu Degans. Beautiful name, gorgeous book, both in terms of the poetry and also the title. Plaintive and urgent are 2 words that come to mind that have just stayed with me. And I read these poems a long time ago. I'll turn the mic over to you. Thank you.
I'd like to begin by thanking Kimiko. It's a thrill to have my work selected for this chapbook series, and to thank Sharon as well. And it's been wonderful to meet Sue and to meet Mark this evening. And I'd also like to thank friends and fellow artists that came out. And let me see if I can get that set. Is my voice okay like this? Mm-hmm. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, and then to behold this for the first time, designed by Ed Rayer, it's a real, the poems feel right at home in this book, so I'm grateful. I won't read the entire chapbook, but we'll share with you, we'll journey through. I'll begin with, the chapbook is titled Undressing the River, and you'll see that there are a few poems that form a series, and I'll begin with the first in that series. I'll also say that I was born in the Caribbean and I grew up in Canada, so you may hear those landscapes mentioned. For this poem, Waktukubuli is the Carib name for one of my family's home islands, which is Dominica, and Kaiso is a kind of music, French Creole music, and everything else I'm sure you'll flow with. Oh, one of the rituals in Dominique, if you go bathing in the sea, you go for a sea bath, and then you walk up to Canefield River, which is a freshwater river, and that's how you rinse off the salt. Undressing the river, slow, salt-fired, abandon the beach, that oppositional miracle of hot, black sand, the volcano's sputum of sparkling shit. To the cruise ship, pick your way. Rewind music to its source. What the trees drop. Mountain kaizo, mango, copra, banana, dung. Your feet could stagger through and get caught. Be stuck here forever. 2 nodes on the island's primordial web. Spot her, the cow, tamarind brown, horns. She spots you. Grow very still. It is said Columbus's men from their vantage lost at sea took one look and declared Wakti Kabuli a crumpled heap of paper. Clutch a sheaf of land, squish it into one's fist, then toss it on a sea-faring table. Et voila, the impasse, Dominica. Leave the riverbank to her, the logos of what trembles underfoot, not the gutted estates, not the airport tarmac stocked for export, not the wait for IMF and EU subsidies. Step back into the river, back onto the rocks, some jagged as the day the volcano dropped them, and walk.